going on, guys? Welcome to the Chelsea Echo podcast. As you can see, new surroundings to what was compared about 9-10 months ago. I can't even remember. Was it 6 months?
More.
October?
Yeah.
October we did the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now we're back. We're actually in the studio. Mooch, fantastic job. May I say so myself.
Thank you.
It's absolutely fantastic in here. If you guys need podcasts, just go.
Hit up
speak to Mooch.
vauxhallpodcaststudio.com.
There we go. So we've got Mooch, we got Nico. We also have a brand new addition team. As you can see, you need to switch cameras. We've got Brandon. Say hello.
Hi. How are you doing? How are we? We good?
I'm very good. What's the little one? Have you not got a big one you can cut to for you?
Go to camera 4.
Hey! Hello.
BTE.
Woo!
Yeah, lose a little one of you in the corner.
let's
When
get
you
rid of
talk,
that
you
one.
use that. You use
Hello.
that big one.
Hello. Lovely to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to
mate,
it.
It's brilliant. Right, can you quickly, obviously, Sheffield United game just happened. Can you quickly go through, obviously, we got an agenda. What's up first? What are we talking about first?
So, first of all, let me just get it up.
And
get
a camera of you as well,
We
mate.
have got the Sheffield United review, obviously. We've just played them, like you just said. So we'll be going through the result on that, followed shortly by the Champions League draw reaction, and rounding up the Atletico game as well. And then as we progress further, we will get to the FA Cup draw reaction, which is actually happening in about 20-ish minutes. The
So
Leicester
we might
United
shift
game
that
going.
then.
Huh?
So we might shift that
We
up
might
then.
shift that. It depends on how quickly or how long we get through things. Yeah, and then we've got a couple of 2012
Comparisons.
That's
Yeah.
the word. That's the word. Yeah, there's a few threads going through on Twitter online, just basically saying how it's written in the
For
stars
those
again.
of us who are superstitious and believe in symmetries in time.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly
12, 1, 2, it kind of all comes together, doesn't it?
We'll get onto that. We'll get onto that, and then we'll also go through our horoscopes and see what other bullshit.
What else you got, Brandon?
Following that, we have Roman Abramovich, who has done an interview recently, and it's quite rare that he does many
Very
interviews.
rare. I
as
think it's
we
the
know.
only second one I've ever seen him do.
Yeah, and it was quite a positive interview for anyone that has read it. It's quite a positive interview, and it gives Chelsea fans something to kind of relax about. Obviously, they were saying he's a bit disjointed from the club.
Anyway,
not
we'll
too
get
long
into
ago.
that.
But yeah, sorry. And then
Stay on target.
looking at some social media, we've got Haaland's dad following Chelsea on Instagram, seeing everyone's reactions to that. New shirt. The new shirt that's been leaked online for next season. What are our thoughts on it? And we'll finish off with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Mason Mount, and his upcoming England call-up. So that's what we've got today, boys. Let's start
Fantastic.
off with some Sheffield United reviews.
All right then.
Stacked
All right then. So
I like
who
it.
wants to lead on this? Because I mean, I did my review. That was 5 minutes.
Well, there's a game of two halves.
Oh, that's fine. Let's play a game, right?
See how many cliches we can.
do the review and how many cliches we can fit in.
Well, I mean, look, let's just review the game. Me and Louis watched the game here while I was editing some other podcasts. But first of all, we had the craziness that was the false lineup that was released by Chelsea Twitter. Someone at the social media department possibly getting fired, or at least like being called in on Monday morning. A team that is completely different to the one that actually lined up. I think on Mason Mount and...
So the first lineup that came out, you had Mendy,
Christensen.
Aspilicueta, Christensen, Rudiger, Pulisic, Kante, Jorginho, Chilwell, Mount, Ziyech, Havertz. So out of the actual lineup that came out,
Two,
was it 2?
and Chilwell, I suppose.
But
yeah,
you
so
even
three.
had, I had a look on Twitter, and apparently on the actual the fifth stand, they tweeted they showed a completely different lineup to that one as well. So there was actually 3 lineups that came out in total.
Is this a two-show masterclass of just
mind games,
Yeah,
just
complete
just
mind
throwing
games?
everyone off, possibly.
Or is he just drawing this team by picking names out of a bucket?
I mean, he's got a hard job at the moment, hasn't he? Let's be honest.
It's
He
true.
has.
It's true.
I'll
What
be
do you
real.
think?
Based on what I saw today, I don't think that group of 11 fill me with the greatest confidence.
Well, I think to be fair though, even though they might not fill you with the greatest confidence, they, as a side, have not played together that frequently. So you did see you saw examples of the early stages of Tuchel's reign at Chelsea when it wasn't the strongest, when we weren't exactly moving in the best capacity that we could. But I think obviously the back end of the second half, even we'll get to the duration of that. When Ziyech scored the goal, you did see some good combination play. But look, I think that Overall, look, that you're not going to see Emerson. I don't think. I think he'll move back to Italy.
No, I agree.
You're
There
not-
was two shining lights in that game for me. Pre-substitutes.
Go on.
Christian Pulisic,
Yeah.
who's they kicked him off the park, and there was a reason for that because he was really dangerous.
Yeah.
And I think just keep playing Billy Gilmore because when he was putting those passes in, those diagonal passes, like reminiscent of the Morata ball almost. Man, it was looking dangerous. Edge of the D,
Yeah.
straight into the far side of the penalty area. I thought his 80% of his passing was on point today. I think he's such a little prospect, and we need to keep grooming him. And
It's
breeding
hard
him.
though, isn't it? Because if you think about it, like we spoke about this the other day, Louis and Mooch. We said that he's got Jorginho, Kovacic, and Kante to pick from in those positions, who all three are on form at the moment. All three are doing bits in their own ways, and they're performing and outperforming each other in certain ways. And then Gilmore coming in to add to that, it just throws everything off the park. I wouldn't like to be in his shoes at the moment. That's all I'm going to say.
I'd agree with that. What I would say, though, is that what I don't want us to do is do our usual and say, oh, you're a youngster, go off to another club. No. He needs to stay and compete with the midfield that we've got.
I don't know if he would compete though.
Well,
Really?
I think
Not
I think
quite.
he's come back from a long injury. He's not had a proper pre-season. And we've got, Kante's no spring chicken.
Mm-hmm. Neither is Jorginho.
Neither is Jorginho.
Yep.
4
true.
players for 2 positions seems like ample cover.
It's true, but
You're going to get injuries. You're going to get suspensions. I think you'll see a lot more of him next season.
you say that, and I agree with you to a certain extent, but I think at the same time you might not see as much of him because if you look at the back end of the game, Mason Mount came in and filled in that position, and that purely just based on the amount of forward options we have, that seems like to be a much more likely thing to happen rather than Billy Gilmore actually get the opportunities to go straight into the side.
I think what's going to be more of an issue is Billy Gilmore wanting to get minutes so that he can push into the Scotland side.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the conversation that is going to happen behind the scenes between Tuchel and Gilmore's team and go, cool, look, is it going to be like a Fiki sort of situation where he's going to go on loan somewhere amazing, getting some experience?
Well, Napoli were interested in him in January.
Or is it going to be Ethan Ampadu?
I said, yeah, look, we've got
This
we've
is
got
it.
that.
This is it.
I think Gilmore is probably ahead of the pecking order of Ethan Ampadu, but Ethan Ampadu has got a season of experience and has been one of Sheffield United's best players, I imagine.
He has. He's been playing really well. Sheffield United fans have said that he's been a shining light. Started slow, but he got there eventually. I think the other thing with Ethan Ampadu is he would offer opportunities at centre back as well as DM. His distribution obviously isn't the same level as Billy Gilmore, but where he might not have the best passing capability in comparison, he can still pass the ball, but he's also a fantastic destroyer. So I think that's going to be very interesting to see what goes on with that. But yeah, look, I think if we just obviously going through the rest of the game, what if we had to pick out 3 things? We've done Pulisic as a positive. Andreas Christensen,
Yeah.
we touched on briefly. He's really found his feet in this Chelsea team, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think like most Premiership players, confidence is such a big factor, and being in a heart of defence that just has leaked 2 goals in, is this 14 games?
Something mental
14
like that, yeah.
now. Yeah.
11 hours now not conceded.
Then
Wow.
you're gonna look good, and he's gonna be building in confidence, and it's great to see. He had another good game today. He looked physically in it, which has been sort of one of our sort of concerns.
And that's a big thing to say against Sheffield United as well.
Team, yeah. Aspi looked a bit dodged today. A couple of times
Oh,
he got done.
David
When he got
McGoldrick.
skinned, yeah.
That was where I think obviously people earlier in the season were talking about there's almost the Ivanovic vibes, when he was getting done against Swansea.
But I mean,
and
look,
stuff
some
like
players
that.
just
That
have a good. Some strikers will have a good game and will give you hell. But
David
that's
McGoldrick
not
against
that's
Chelsea
not
every
been
single
that's
time.
not been. That I can't. I'm not having a bad word said against Dave after one poor performance.
No,
he's not
of
on
course.
that the same trajectory as Branner. So I hope.
Touch
but,
wood.
But it gives you. I at no point during the first 60 minutes felt worried.
No. It was I had my feet up. Me and you were just. What was it? We had the debate of Aldi and Lidl, which you had on Twitter last night. What was that?
Yeah. This. I meant-
Waitrose.
Wait, you.
Wow.
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 I mean, to be fair, I sometimes get some.
I'm
little,
actually joking. I'm a Tesco guy.
I'm a Tesco guy, maybe a Sainsbury's. But if I'm feeling swanky, if it's a date night,
M&S.
M&S, or I do pick someone up from Waitrose. I think the meat's quite good from Waitrose.
Did you say if it's a date night?
Yeah, I did.
So that's once in like a blue moon then.
Oh, shots fired.
Shots
Wow.
indeed.
Wow. Okay. Well. Okay, Brandon, we're not going to go through that. I've known you for what, nearly 4 years? How many girlfriends have you
4
had
or
in that
5.
time? How's it going?
Wow.
Guys, I feel we're going. We don't want this
Stay on
podcast.
target.
We don't want this
Stay on
podcast to
target.
break up straight away.
To go back to your question, though, and put the cherry on the sundae about 3 things we could pick out. You've picked out 2. I think the third one is that Ziyech got us another goal.
Yeah, we were having a little discussion
Yeah.
about Ziyech in the test pod, weren't we? And about how we weren't. I wasn't 100%.
You weren't 100%.
Hey, Mooch was on the fence.
No, I conceded. Like, look, he's not had enough
not
minutes,
played.
and he's come back. But what I think is more interesting, and this is a question that I think me and you will have differing opinions on: Ziyech or Pulisic. Who do you think will go into that team?
Ziyech.
See, I'm at the moment. I feel Ziyech is probably the starter over Pulisic.
Yes. Are you asking me who do I think is going to be picked by Thomas Tuchel, or who do I want to be picked?
Who do I think is going to be picked?
Ziyech.
Yeah, right now it probably would be Ziyech. But if he gets in form, Christian Pulisic's like straight
I'd say
in that
the
team.
2 of them together would be
you
quite.
take out Timo Werner,
Yeah.
the person who's got the
No.
most
Yep.
goal contributions for Chelsea so far this season.
You love that stat, don't you? The striker
it's
who's
what-
only scored 2
He,
goals.
mate, just because he's not playing as a
Not scored
striker.
2 goals.
I'm being facetious.
Sorry, okay.
God,
But
Nico
I
being
think
facetious.
I think this is what's so exciting is that we've got these 4, 5 like
And Mount.
yeah like
Today, for instance, I would not have played Hudson-Odoi. I would have played Ziyech and Pulisic. That's why when I think it was you who sent the screenshot to the group, and immediately I was like, Ziyech and Pulisic, yes please. Right, that's perfect.
but
those two-
wasn't Cho playing as a wing back?
Yeah, it was.
This I don't know. I don't remember the
He played.
screenshot.
He started. So in the game, he started as a right wing back, which is obviously where he's been playing.
I don't mean
recently.
what we got in the game. I mean what we got as a screenshot that
Do you
you
mean
sent
the,
over.
the first? So the first screenshot I sent.
Because the idea of Giroud feeding Ziyech and Pulisic, that's tasty. That's
Yeah, Cho-
really tasty.
Cho wasn't in the first one. It was Ziyech. Pulisic was playing as like the wing back by the looks of the lineup, and then you got Ziyech up there, and there was no out and out striker starting. There was Havertz playing in the false nine.
I do like him in that role. You know,
He's very good.
I do like Kai Havertz in the false nine role.
I think that's where he is. We will touch more on that later because obviously we've got the discussion about Haaland and stuff, which I think Kai Havertz we can talk a little bit about. Look, it's something we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
okay, it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
How long we got until half time, Brandon, in the Leicester game?
United have just scored an equaliser.
Bruno
So,
Fernandes.
it was Greenwood.
Oh,
Greenwood
fair
with his first goal for a while. 38 minutes on the clock, so we've got about 7 minutes.
Got about
plus
7
added
minutes.
time.
Okay. Well, so we've got about 10 minutes to go
About
through
10
stuff.
minutes, yeah.
What else have you got for us, Brendan? I think we've gone through the Sheffield game as much as we can.
So we've got the Champions League draw reaction, which if people did not see it on your channel before, obviously we did the live stream the other day. We drew Porto. What are your guys' reaction about that? Nico, what about you?
Take that all day long. I'd bite your left arm off for that one if you told me before when we've got the risk of playing Real Madrid, PSG, Bayern Munich, or Porto. It's like, I'll take Porto, thank you. No disrespect to them. Like, they are a team who have historically proven to be very difficult to beat on home soil. I am not going into this saying it's a given where we've got a foot in the semi-final. Hell no. But I think we got a foot in the semi-final.
Well, this is it. I mean, so we obviously did the live stream and then I clipped it up. And the clip's done quite well. And the reason it's done well is because I've had a lot of Portuguese people saying they want to kill me, which was quite fun.
What have you done?
I've seen the comments on that video.
I literally, all I said was, we got, so I was like, yeah, Porto. Like, thinking, that's really good. All the Portuguese said, we're going to beat you now. I had one guy say, I hope you get hit by a bus. That was fun.
Is that maybe that's like a term of endearment in a Portuguese sort of like.
I love you more than a bus.
That was that Portuguese?
I
What
don't
was that?
That was like Italian.
I
Right?
don't know.
It sounds like my granddad. It showed more than a bus.
More than a bus.
But yeah, no, like
That's Italian.
That's Italian. It's for sure Italian.
But yeah, no, it wasn't it wasn't great. But I mean, to be fair, if I clarify my comments, I think that I got obviously I sound the same as you. I got excited going, well, that's the on paper easiest draw, but at the same time, this is a side which is beating Juventus, which is done really well on the group
Correct.
stages as well.
We're saying easy in air quotes here, right?
yeah,
There's
look,
no
you're-
easy game in the quarterfinal and onwards of the Champions League. Like if you've got there's a reason.
Exactly.
Like anyone who thinks, you take this team lightly, I draw you back to when we lost to Monaco in the semi-final.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's like, it's Monaco. Yeah, no, no. Bloody Fernando Morientes and Ludovic Juli tore us apart. And Jérôme Roten, actually. So,
But
yeah, it's not a
saying
done
that,
deal.
Of the last 8, who would you have picked?
But this is my point. Like,
Porto.
Of course,
Porto
all day
or
long.
Dortmund?
Oh, no, I don't know about Dortmund.
No.
So you'd rather Dortmund over City, Bayern, PSG?
Okay, if we're
Real,
do it like that.
Liverpool.
No, do you know what? No,
You said Porto or Dortmund.
I'd have
I'm
gone-
saying no to Dortmund.
I'd have said Porto. I'd have
Yeah.
taken if it was
Porto,
yeah.
Dortmund, then probably.
I'd say Real.
Yeah,
Real
I'd
aren't
have
on.
backed
We're
Real.
forgetting Liverpool. We're forgetting how poor Liverpool are at the minute, and obviously
Yeah.
with their injury crisis as well.
But it
This
is
is-
a UEFA competition, and they do seem to thrive in those sorts of competitions,
And
no
it's
matter
just-
how bad
those
they are.
European nights at Anfield, lads.
Do you know what? If we do make it to the semis, I would love to play Real Madrid.
Real Madrid. That I was saying to my,
I would
yeah.
love to play Real Madrid. I can't remember in my lifetime playing Real Madrid. I don't remember every
Yeah,
game
Mooch
I've
said
ever
this the other
watched,
day.
but I don't
Did
remember
you
ever
know,
playing Real.
I do remember in my lifetime. I remember. 'cause
Were you
I've
like
got-
4?
Well, I'm
90
older than you. Well, it
Not
was,
by much.
It was the European Super Cup. So it's the winner of
Wow.
the Champions League versus the winner
Of the Cup Winners'
the Cup Winners' Cup.
So that's when we beat, not Dortmund, it was when we beat Stuttgart in the final.
And then they play one game,
And Zola
and it
scored the goal.
was
What up, Zola?
it was us v Real. I think we won 1-0. I think Frank Leboeuf, or was it
Zola.
Laudrup?
Someone.
It was old.
Yeah. Someone before mine and Brandon's time.
I would love, even if we lose, just to play Real Madrid.
This is the thing, right?
I'd
I am
love to
so
play that.
gutted that it's this year of all years because I've wanted to see Chelsea play Real Madrid for my entire life, and we're not going to be able to go. And it's not even going to be at the Bernabeu. It's going to be at their training complex, isn't it? Because that's where
Yeah.
they've been playing all their Champions League games. It's gutting. But I mean, obviously, firstly we had to get past Porto for all the all the Portuguese people who will undoubtedly say they hope I die again. That would be fantastic.
Please don't
Just
wish
to let you
death. Peace and love.
know. No, exactly. There was somewhere it was quite funny. I'm not going to lie though. If we do win that game, I will be going back to that comment section and responding to every single one. So that's going to be a very, very fun evening for me. But yeah, I mean, look, I think
Gus Poyet.
Gus Poyet scored.
Gus Poyet scored the
Oh,
goal.
what a man! But I mean, he moved to Tottenham, didn't he? So.
Still,
And what?
living
Still
there.
love him.
yeah.
I mean, yeah. But yeah, I mean, look, I think for me, in terms of who I would have liked to have drawn, it would have been in order: Porto, Liverpool, Real Madrid. Then you're going into the difficult Dortmund, and then it gets difficult. Probably looking at maybe City,
We can all
PSG,
agree
and
that
Bayern.
City, PSG, and Bayern are the 3 teams to beat.
Yeah,
We can
100%.
all agree on that much.
100%.
Real, I don't put them in that level this year.
I don't think PSG are up there. I mean, they're up there. They have to be up there with the money they've spent and the players they've got. But they just there's something about them that just doesn't. Nothing clicks for me. When I watch it, nothing clicks.
Yeah, I mean, they only beat Barcelona 4-0.
Yeah, no, I know.
I think they're a different team in the league than they are in the Champions League.
Yeah.
There's more of an air of
Yeah, I suppose
you know
so.
excitement.
Mm.
Yeah, and look, they're just loaded with quality players.
And they've got Kylian Mbappe.
And Poch
That-
is Poch
And
is-
Neymar.
Mbappe. At
Yeah,
the
but Neymar
moment.
might be out if it's like his sister's birthday or something. You know?
I see. What was it you were going to say about Pochmooch?
Well,
Is it
no,
his sister or
Poch
his mother
is-
who he wants to peg?
Po-
You've
Wow.
seen the videos, right? I'm not making this up.
It's his
Nico,
sister.
Brandon,
man.
The little, was it his mother or his sister who he
It's his
butt
sister.
slapped?
Did you
That's
did you
it.
did you seriously see the Joe
Yeah,
Rogan?
yeah.
Hey,
But-
hey, Brandon, can you pull that up for me,
Probably
please?
pull that up.
I'm not going to be pulling that up,
No, no.
just to let you know.
But I think Poch is a great manager, and if that that looks like a team that's got Poch all, they're going to work together.
Yeah,
it's
no,
just going to take
100%.
time. And if it clicks in the Champions League when these players are up for it, because I don't know if they're motivated in the league. I mean, I know they might
They've
not win
become
it this year.
jaded. They're jaded in the league. They've won it too much. But have you got it?
Yeah, what's going on?
No, I haven't got
Fine,
it.
It's all good. It was all good.
He's actually put it up. How long we got now, Brandon? Because we're trying to fill time.
There's 2 minutes added on. We're 20 seconds into the 2
Cool.
minutes.
We've got to speak for another minute and a half. I think we should go back to the conversation about Aldi and the best supermarkets.
We don't need to.
I
go
mean,
in this
you
order.
can.
Let's just.
You
talk
have
about
got
Roman
you can round up Atletico in a minute and a half if you want to.
Oh, that's fun. Should we try and do that?
Let's do that.
Hold on. How long's a minute and a half?
90 seconds.
90 seconds. 30 seconds each. Right, Nico, go.
No, you go.
guys. Over the 2 legs, I think it proved how much of a dire state La Liga is in. The players just didn't look up to the same standard.
No.
And from Atletico are sort of seem to be doing they're top of the La Liga. Real and Barca are in a state of disarray. So if that's the best of La Liga, just think about the rest of the teams. I mean, who's still in the Europa Cup from the Spanish?
Granada are still in there. Villarreal, I think, are in there as well.
I think that's it.
Is that it?
I think so.
Okay.
But it's just this cyclical thing of, remember when Sevilla were just winning it every year? Barca, Real were just dominating. Well, Real were dominating 3 years on the trot. And it seems like the tides have turned and English clubs.
Going back to 2008.
It is. God, that's a horrible year.
I mean,
It really was, wasn't it?
we're gonna probably have an all English final.
Whoa.
have you
whoa,
thought
whoa,
that if
whoa,
we do no, but if we do if we
I'm gonna
right,
go out. I'm
right.
gonna say on a limb. I think we're gonna have an all English final.
Right. Maybe, but if we do reach that final, probably could be Liverpool either. Don't know.
Yeah,
But
I'm not
if,
saying.
if Chelsea reach the final, you do realise what kit we're gonna be wearing as well. This is something which I saw earlier. It'll be the red and blue one.
Yes.
What?
That
Love
red and
that
blue kit.
Love that
So
kit.
if because City would be the home team, so they'll be wearing their blue.
Why
We
will
won't
they
wear-
be the home team?
Because that's how it's been drawn.
Oh, bollocks.
So we'll be in that red and blue kit.
Right. Okay.
Mason Mount. I just saw. Can you imagine, right? Mason Mount left in the Champions League. How annoyed would all the Twitter trolls be? The fact that he thinks he's a rubbish player.
Why do people still go on about this?
Well, we got a whole point on that later. when we
Right,
actually
guys.
talk
Sorry
about
to
Mason Mount.
interrupt. We are now at half time at the King Power.
Oh, brilliant! So we got the draw. I mean, so okay, if we go into this then FA Cup draw, you can either have potentially Leicester or Manchester United on the balance of play. Brandon, considering you've been seeing it, who looks more likely
I
currently?
mean, I haven't really been watching it. I'm not gonna lie, but I can read the stats that are on the screen. 52% possession to Leicester, 6 attempts to United's 4. United have had more on target. Both have had the same amount of corners. It looks quite even. Every time I've looked over, it's been kind of end to end. Oh, hi, I'm here now. It's
when
been
you're
kind
talking
of
Switch,
end
mate.
to end. I mean, it could go either way. What do you guys think? I mean, like, based on paper and previous results, form, who do you reckon could nick it in the second half? I mean, it's still even peggings at the moment. So
History tells me it's going to be United,
Yeah.
just the way that Ollie's got such a jammy sort of habit of snatching it. They've probably got a better team. The individual players are probably better, and they're a team probably.
oh, wow.
What?
Sorry, I've just seen Leicester's goal. Oh, my Lord.
Juicy?
It's awful.
Oh.
Maguire gets it in his own 18-yard box, plays it to Fred. I think it's Fred. And the pass back towards, I don't know if it's Henderson in goal, it literally just plays it straight to Iheanacho, who just rounds him and puts it in. That's awful.
Iheanacho scoring again though, so fair play to him.
Yeah.
I thought it was really awesome. Like the other day when he had got his hat trick against Sheffield United, that was like, did you see his post match interview.
Yeah.
It was really really cool.
It was emotional, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I would like to avoid Manchester United,
I wouldn't because
based on the fact that they've been a bit of a bogey team for us over the course of the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, but the thing to balance that out is where they might be a bogey team for us over the past 2 seasons. At the same time,
We need to end this voodoo.
yeah, and also they can't do anything in semi-finals under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer currently. They've got to how many? Like 6, and they've lost every single one.
Did you hear
Until
what he
they
said
play
the other
the
day?
team who they're really good against.
And they lost against us 3-0 last year.
What did they say the other day?
He said the other day, he got asked the question of, does he think that he's going to be under pressure if he doesn't win any titles or trophies? And he came out and responded with, I don't consider trophies or titles to be that important in a manager's career. They're literally there just to stroke the manager's ego. If that was a manager, from your point of view, from your club, that said that, would you not be annoyed?
I would. If
I'd
so
be
if I
more
was
than
on
annoyed.
Twitter, I would share the GIF that says "Get out." Get out.
Because that's a really poor opinion from like.
I think if you're saying that and you're a Watford manager,
yeah,
fine.
yeah, fair enough. But
as Manchester United
And as
manager,
a treble-winning
exactly.
player.
Exactly.
like the club that's won the most things, those supporters demand trophies. They still believe that they're in the like what's his name, Goldbridge.
God,
Mark.
yeah.
I wanna get
I
Mark
saw
on at
him
some point.
sort of tweeting that hopefully City City lose, kind of insinuating that they might catch them, like which is just
It doesn't make sense because, especially for me, from a club legend, who's been at the club, won trophies, many trophies as well, and was an important player in winning those trophies. How can you then say that just strokes a manager's ego? That doesn't. No. Like you're
ridiculous.
put in the club when you were taken on by United. Ed Woodward would have told you, you're here to win titles. You're here to get Man United back on the board. He's been doing well, but you can't. I mean, I would not be surprised if there's a lot of United fans that were quite pissed off by that.
I
It
think
is a
that's an understatement.
seriously poor attempt to protect his team and his players. Because he knows, he's not an idiot. He knows damn well that he's not winning trophies this year, unless maybe it's the FA Cup. He is not winning the league. They're not winning the Europa League. It's not happening.
they might win the Europa League.
Nah.
I mean, there's. I think there are better teams in there.
They're
but-
favourite at the moment on the bookies, anyway.
I don't see it. I do not see them winning anything
I mean,
other
I think
than the
it's
FA
kind
Cup.
of.
And I think he's doing what he can to hide the fact that they are so far off the race at the moment, and that all the teams below them, they're on par with Leicester City at the moment. We are still a work in progress. We're coming. We're coming very, very soon. United, I don't see any.
I don't know
any
if
way
they're a
for them
great
to
team
progress.
or a terrible team. That's the thing, and they change week from week.
Yeah.
They've just been drawing so many games.
Take
and
Bruno Fernandes out that team.
Exactly. You get an injury to Bruno, and where are they at? Pogba came in, saved the day from the saved the game from the other day, but there's going to be more confusion and disruption because he's in the last year of his contract.
Yeah.
Is that going to be distracting? Is that going to be a problem?
He's not going to sign again. He'll be stupid
He'd
to sign
be an
again.
idiot to sign again. The Pogba that plays for Manchester United is not the Pogba that plays for France, and is not the Pogba that played for Juventus.
But-
they're different people.
But
almost.
if the money is put there on the table, Raiola will probably force Pogba to sign and then just try and get a move away again. I could see that happening. I mean,
To Real Madrid. You said Real.
Say again.
move away again. So if Raiola.
Right, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
my
I heard Real, sorry.
my doppelganger.
I don't know. He's probably going at the end of the season, but I've seen crazier things happen, especially with Woodward sort of at the helm.
He's on a massive contract, though, isn't he? Surely, if they're not winning more trophies because it's not important, thanks to Ollie, they can't afford to up his
No.
contract.
He'll
More.
be-
He's on what, 300 grand a week?
I mean,
250 a week?
Manchester United as a club can afford to do that just because they are Manchester United.
I mean, it's going to be interesting. De Gea their top earner?
Yeah,
De Gea is their top earner, but he's also in the last
He's
year of
gone.
the contract
he
as
is
well.
gone.
Mate, Dean Henderson is. I wish we snapped him up. Edouard Mendy's done a fantastic job. I love Dean Henderson. I think he's a quality keeper. But I mean, yeah, look, I think Manchester United as a club, they'd probably be the side that I'd want to face. Maybe, or no, actually, what am I talking about? I'd rather us play Southampton. But then at the end of the day, you also have to beat what's in front of you. Southampton looked really, really good against Bournemouth yesterday. Kind of
Against
expected.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, but Bournemouth, let's not forget, Bournemouth were a Premier League side last year with a lot of fight and a lot of bite. Now they are looking, I don't even know how to say how they're looking. They just
They're
look
looking
god
like
awful.
Leeds. They're looking like the fall from grace that Leeds had.
Well, I think it'll be very interesting. But I mean, actually, it's going to be interesting. I think Southampton, decent side, but obviously in the same position. They're on the lead. They're not doing great. Obviously, Cup run's great. It's their second semi-final in 4 years. Olivier Giroud turned them inside out in 2018. Hopefully, he can do it again. And then there's Manchester City.
Yeah,
which-
avoid at all costs.
They're just everywhere, aren't
Just
they? Like
avoid at all
every
costs.
conversation, they're just in it. Like whether it's the FA Cup, whether it's the League Cup, whether it's the Champions League, Premier, they're everywhere.
Here's one:
It's just annoying.
is the quadruple really on for
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
them?
Yes.
I don't really know.
I mean, they're going to beat Tottenham in the League Cup final. If they don't beat Tottenham in the League Cup final, that's
Just
ridiculous. And I just can't get it.
But then
I mean,
again, they did
just-
lose to Tottenham in the league a couple of weeks ago.
Tottenham have got such a fucking good front line. I don't know why they can't get
Let's be
it
honest
firing.
as well.
Son, Moura, Bale, Kane. It's beaut. I would take any of those players in our team.
If Tottenham win that game, Mourinho is a hero.
Yeah.
And he's gone from a tumultuous season into a fantastic season, a success. So they've got more on the line there. And it just needs a Mourinho masterclass. But then again, they did
which
just
he's
lose.
capable of.
Yeah, they did just lose 3-0. They did just give up a 3-0.
Oh,
It's, yeah, I think this is it. I mean, to be fair, when he did he went into their dressing room, credit to him for that. But yeah, I mean, obviously we're Tottenham. I think we've played them twice now. We've got the results. They are looking dire, but I mean, the Premier League this season has been so
weird.
That's an understatement. I think just how this year has just been so mental that I don't think you can even comment on stuff very easily and just sort of say this is how it is. This is what's going wrong. This is what's going right.
Well, what
I
if
mean,
you
look-
said in September that City were going to be as far ahead as they are?
They've-
No one would have agreed.
This is the thing. They've done it so quietly.
Yeah,
It's,
really.
it's been assassin-esque. It's sort of just like creeping round, sort of like, oh, by the way, we're now 14 points clear, lads. Good luck catching us. I mean, you look
Without Sergio Aguero. That's what's
yeah,
really scary.
which is it. I mean, that's obviously something else we can talk about as well because there was obviously rumours of Sergio Aguero for us next season.
No.
But look, I think like with the FA Cup, it's a competition which on paper we're very, very good in.
Yes.
We've proven that over the past decade. I think it's something we've done. This is some mad stats in terms of how many semi-finals we got to in the FA Cup this millennium. It's our competition really.
I suppose it's probably Arsenal's, but
Yeah.
Well, it's Ars. Yeah, no, that's why I said out of the teams that left. But
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, right. Yeah.
Arsenal. Yeah, they are
is
the
there.
best in the competition.
All right, I think we are coming up to the draw
We're coming up now.
right now. They've just shown the highlights of all the games. Yep, the draw is up. Do you want me to
Cool.
whack it on the screen for you guys? No.
we've got it here, mate. We've got it.
Oh,
here.
you've got it in front
Yeah,
of you.
yeah.
Oh, lovely. Ignore me.
Okay, but so I mean, Everton played really well. To be fair, when Carlo Ancelotti is talking about City and going, they're the best team in the world. This is one of the
Listen.
greatest managers
Yep.
in football history.
Yep.
Like, this is something a
who
whole
was being questioned at the start of the league campaign?
Carlo.
No. Guardiola was being
Oh,
questioned.
Guardiola was. Yeah.
You know, I mean, they had a couple of games in hand, but they were mid-table, and people were questioning.
Well, it's gonna be very interesting. But here we go. Gaza. Oh, he won it. Cool. Gary Lineker. He looks,
Silver
Warm.
Fox.
mate. He's
Dion Dublin.
Well, the third leading up to the bedroom. Every time
You went a bit Chris Eubank there, to
Yeah, I
be fair.
Yeah.
one does not skimp on charity.
The wind.
Hey, you like me now? No, but here we go. Can you guys stop talking and just draw the 4 balls, please? This is the one thing I hate about.
Let's carry on talking
Cut
until we
draws.
see them drawing the balls. But like, it's what the congestion around the end of the season.
Yeah.
With the FA Cup, the Champions League, and the run into the final for City, is that going to possibly be their undoing? When's the Champions League final? 28th,
29th of May.
29th of May.
It's always the team's undoing. You know, I remember, this is going back a while now, I think pre-2008, but there was a point where we were on for the quadruple and it all fell apart. I remember there was a point Arsenal were on for the quadruple before us and it all fell apart. There's always a stage in the season where it just becomes too much.
But then again,
But
can you-
City's squad depth
Yeah, this is what I mean.
terrifying.
And also the fact that, let's be City might have already had that stumble. Every team this season has had that one stumble. Ours is the November-December period, obviously under Frank.
They've all had it, yeah.
So I think City now look.
He's
Sort of.
drawing.
All right,
He's
go on then.
shaking.
Shaking.
We're miles behind you, Brandon, so you're just going to have to tell us.
Okay, the first ball out is number 3. That's us. No, it's not. It's Leicester. Leicester or United.
I love the
Sorry, guys.
certainty that we've got here. Leicester.
Here you
United,
go,
we're not sure.
Brandon. Put you on the little screen in the corner on that one.
Okay, I'm coming.
There we go.
Okay, Leicester have got Leicester or United, Southampton.
Oh,
So it is
bollocks.
City Chelsea, who's going to be at home?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't, but you know.
Well, look, we can
Number
end this.
4, Chelsea are at home.
I'm excited about this. I'm excited about seeing Tuchel versus Guardiola.
Yes.
I don't like the positivity.
Battle of why not? Like, let's be positive now while we still can.
Hang on. Let me just remind everyone of one thing. When we faced them in the League Cup final when Sarri was in charge, we really gave them a run for their money. And I'd argue they were possibly a better team then than they are now. Not necessarily on form as they are now, but player for player, I'd argue they were even better then.
Yeah.
And 120 minutes, it went 0-0. And the only reason we lost that game is because Jorginho's, strange penalty.
Or because Kepa didn't want to come out the goal.
Yeah.
There's that.
I think it's.
But Jorginho's penalty miss is ultimately what cost us. The margins were that fine. Chelsea can turn it on.
This is our first big test.
Yeah.
Of that defense. I mean, I suppose maybe United.
Atletico Madrid.
Well, they didn't give us a test, but
Atletico are hard to break down. They don't have the firepower that City does.
Yeah, I think this is going to be,
This is as hard as it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
best team in the world on paper right now, aren't they?
I'd agree. Like, if we can beat City, massive if, but if we can,
that's going to give us such
that's going to
confidence.
maybe change my opinion about the Champions League. There's a tangent.
Well, I mean, speaking of that tangent,
look, from their position, I think this is the worst draw that they would have wanted.
Oh, it's the worst draw they would have wanted.
Sure. They're not exactly jumping for joy
as
either.
we are about this.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll have to see what happens with it. But I mean, I had a segue there, and it was perfect, and then Mooch ruined it. But I mean, we'll go straight into the segue.
I gave it to you on a plate.
Champions League.
Champions League. Brandon, do you want to take the lead on this one?
Hello, I'm back. Okay, so as some of you may have seen on the old Twitter, CFC Dubois likes to compare 2012 with this year.
Okay.
I'm going to take you through some of these comparisons.
Okay.
I'm going to put you guys on screen and put me in a little corner as well, just so we get to see your reactions.
No
as
one
I'm
puts
reading
Brandon
out.
in the corner.
Okay, so I'm going to read these out.
Okay.
And it's quite a long thread, I have to
Alright.
warn you.
I'm ready.
But I want you to react to this, okay? So,
Okay.
the first tweet. Last time we sacked a young manager mid-season. 2012.
Yeah.
Last time Liverpool lost back-to-back home games. 2012. Last time we drew 0-0 at home versus Spurs. 2012.
Last time Louis had a date.
2006.
Oh wow!
Last
Age 9. Blimey.
Yeah, it was a play date. Last time we lost to Newcastle at home, 2012. We played, well, this was obviously back before we played Newcastle, and we won the UCL and the FA Cup in 2012, if you didn't know that already. So, based on your first reactions,
Oh, first, is there more?
there's loads more, mate. I'm only just getting started.
Right, I'm just watching Nico's face because he when we mentioned that we were doing this as part of the script, he just kind of rolled his eyes. Oh my god, here we go. Nico's ever the pessimist.
Okay.
You're the one notorious for going into games which we should win, saying we're going to lose this, just so you can turn around if the miraculous loss does happen and go, I told you so.
I never
So
turn around to
shut
say I
the
can
fuck
tell.
up.
There's only certain things I turn around and say I told you so on, and I usually say I told you so.
Can we carry on with this list of bullshit?
Of course we can.
It is literally a list of bullshit so,
So,
far.
it's
Last
the
time the
second one.
sun was in the fucking quadrant in the east, 2012. Next, come on.
So it says, when we lose to Newcastle on Monday, obviously back in February, but it means the UCL and the FA Cup is coming to La Bridge again. And it's got a picture of Mourinho running down the touchline, his famous one where he slides on his knees. Lovely.
Wasn't that when he was Porto manager?
Yep.
Yep.
Playing
you've
them.
got Man City also won the league in 2012.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was a race for the title
Between
between United and City.
Okay,
I
that was,
wouldn't-
that
I'd
was,
hardly
that was a
call-
bit of a stretch.
I'd hardly call this a race. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a stretch.
The Euros was in 2012. 2012.
Which was 2 years after a World Cup.
Correct. Correct.
Actually, no, this is 3 years after the World Cup.
Yeah.
Does this man, CFC Dubois, also believe in chemtrails? Jesus.
It's a question you might have to ask him, mate.
Yeah, I'll ask him on Twitter.
2012. This one. Nico, you can't say anything about this one. This one is mad.
Go, shoot.
2012 rearranged is 2021.
Fuck my life.
nothing.
Illuminati
You could say
believe.
back to that.
Literally, right? Fucking all-seeing eye over here.
Oh, mate.
Also, Chelsea had a blonde £50 million striker up front who struggled in his first full season in 2012.
And his second.
And his Chelsea career.
Oh,
Manchester United were also in the Europa League in 2012. I'm just waiting for a reaction from
keep
Nick. I'm not going to lie.
Keep going.
All right, United.
brain dead.
United were knocked out of the Europa League by a Spanish team in 2012. They played Sociedad next, which obviously didn't happen in the end. But
yeah,
they've got Granada now, haven't they? So, interesting. The longest winning run in 2012 was by Manchester City, who were on the run now. The longest losing run was by Wolverhampton, who were on a massive losing run up until Christmas. Before AVB in 2012, it was an Italian manager, Ancelotti. Before Lampard, it was an Italian manager, Sarri. Stretching it now. Chelsea
Stretching it now.
Well,
Now. Yeah, 2012, 2021 backwards. That was all good. Carry on.
Chelsea's number 11 scored 4 goals in 2012, which was Drogba, Timo Werner. I don't know if there's going to be that correlation. I don't know. Zlatan Ibrahimovic played for AC Milan in 2012.
This is getting better and better.
Now it's getting funny.
Spurs conceded 5 goals in an FA Cup game in 2012. They conceded 5 to Everton.
It's happened again.
It's happened again.
Liverpool versus Manchester United was an FA Cup tie in 2012. It was also an FA Cup tie this season.
Nico just eyeing me
How
up now.
much longer have we got of it?
There's another... Oh my God, that's not the end. I'd easily say another 10 tweets, 12 tweets, maybe more.
Go on,
All
quick,
right,
rattle through
I'll
'em, rattle
fire
through
through them quickly. I have to find them now.
Okay.
In Chelsea's UEFA Champions League round of 16 game, they faced the Uruguayan striker Cavani. This season, they faced Luis Suarez, a Uruguayan striker. The Olympics was in 2012. The Olympics will be in 2021. This one's brilliant. Where was the 2012 Olympics held? London. Where's Chelsea?
London.
Olympiacos finished third in their Champions League group in 2012. Olympiacos finished third in their Champions League group in 2021.
I just want to point out how much time
Do you know,
This guy
you've beaten
has.
me to it. You've literally, that was my next comment.
it's crazy.
No, you could say
How much
De Boer's coming with a big dub here, boys. All right, just let Brandon finish. Words we got. Go on.
I mean, it ends the thread in about 2 tweets and then he continues it again because it gets so much clout. Ajax finished third in both the 11-12 and the 2021 group stage. In both campaigns, had a goal difference of 0. It then says end thread, but then starts continuing again, saying the last time a German manager lost the UEFA Champions League final, he won it the next season. Klopp. Tuchel
that
lost
one's
the...
interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, Klopp's never won the Champions League.
What?
Wait, hang on, no, wait, how am I talking about? No, he didn't. Wait,
Yeah,
sorry, my brain went. No, I was thinking the season after he didn't win it.
Yeah, because he lost it against Real Madrid, and then he won it again the following season, didn't he?
Oh, I thought we were talking about when he was at Dortmund. I know, go on.
Yeah, so
That one's
Tuchel lost it
interesting.
last season. Olivier Giroud became the first Chelsea player to score 6 goals in a Champions League campaign since Didier Drogba in 2012.
Again, that one's moderately interesting.
Liverpool finished 8th in 2012. They're currently 7th, but well, this was obviously back then. It's not really relevant now. The Spanish Cup final in 2012 was Barcelona-Bilbao, and it was between both sides again this season. The last time Liverpool lost to Fulham was in 2012. The game was at Anfield as well. The score 1-0, and they lost 1-0 at home to Fulham this season. Lionel Messi missed a penalty in the knockouts in 2012. He also missed one in the knockouts in 2021. Last time Messi took 5 penalties in the Champions League, missing the last one, going 4 out of 5 was 2012. He did the same this season. Tuchel's birthday is on the 29th of a month.
Stop it.
Tuchel's birthday is on the 29th of a month. Chelsea's UEFA Champions League winning manager, Di Matteo's birthday is on the 29th of a month.
Right, I'm following Dubois because
Messi and Ronaldo have both been knocked out of the Champions League before Chelsea. Last time that happened, 2012.
Moderately interesting, yeah.
Chelsea have only ever won both legs of a Champions League knockout in the current format twice. The last time, Benfica in 2012. they're comparing the Drogba versus Barcelona goal from the first leg at Stamford Bridge to the Atletico goal with Ziyech in 2021, which were quite similar.
Yeah.
And that is not the end of the thread.
We're done. We're done.
I am so jealous of CFC Dubois. He is blessed with the gift of time.
I mean, I'm just reading the rest of these, and it's ridiculous. He's posted more in the past 3 days. Because we've drawn Porto, and the last time we won the Champions League, we drew a Portuguese opponent. No words. Interesting, not really.
Are we winning the Champions League? Are we winning the Champions League?
No.
I believe, but I'm not going to say we're going to win
Do
it.
you believe in the Champions
What was Roman
League?
doing in 2012? Did he give his last interview then?
That's an interesting
Quite
one.
possibly.
That is an
Because
interesting one.
Roman dropped an interview.
Oh,
That is an interesting one.
That is a great segue.
That's a great segue.
That is a great segue.
Forbes dropped an interview, which I posted in the group, but then didn't have time to read. I bet you who did have time to read it, CFC Dubois.
Yeah.
I mean, let's get it up now. I saw it. There was like a rough breakdown.
It's a great interview.
Go on. Do you want to take the lead on it then? Do you want to go through it?
It's the first time I've heard, that I can remember at least, a manager coming out and so passionately expressing a discontent for racism. We've got the movements in football, don't we? We've got the players, for most part, taking the knee. We've got the Kick It Out campaign. Black Lives Matter is going from strength to strength. So there's a lot of positive movement towards banning racism in football.
Yeah.
But I think it's fucking inspiring that a man of that stature and renown and power is taking the time, and someone who never does interviews, to come out and just speak about this. And it's the fact that he never does interviews that I think adds so much gravitas to this. Because if he's such a recluse, the fact that this has moved him to interview means that he is so behind this. And you can argue the fact that, he's only doing it because he's Jewish and there's been a lot of anti-Semitism in football. But to that I would retort, so? The fact that he's Jewish adds even more to it. It's like, what, because he's Jewish, therefore he doesn't have a say? Wrong. It's the other way around.
Was it just about the racism, or was it more about the community as well?
It's about everything.
about
Basically everything that he does with the club, everything that the club basically support, and his what he's basically been doing.
And do you know the other thing I thought that he did that was absolutely beautiful was that he finished off the interview by saying women's football should be where men's is. Mm-hmm. That's the part, not just the part, aside from his whole monologue about how racism has no place in the 21st century, which it doesn't. The fact that something like Black Lives Matter even exists is a fucking foreign concept to me. The fact that there are still people who see colour to that degree is like, guys, get a clue.
I just want to mention something quickly on that. Obviously, I'm sure you all heard about the Rangers game the other day.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Glenn Kamara especially, but Kamara Roof also was subject to racial abuse by fans on his Instagram post after the nasty tackle that happened on the goalkeeper. But the Glenn Kamara one is so disturbing. If you haven't seen the video, it's awful. I don't know if you want to see the video. It's absolutely awful. You can see the shock on his face when the Slavia Prague, wasn't it? Yeah, the Slavia Prague player comes up to him, basically puts his hand over his mouth and says some really, really just disgusting words to him under his mouth, and it was loud enough that the Rangers teammate could also hear it as well, and it just sparked absolute chaos. Racism doesn't have a place anywhere, not nowhere, not in the community, not in society, not in football, and that's where we need to stop. That's where we need to cut it out. It's not just in football, but it needs to be held from the top.
And that's why I'll bring in my girl Whoopi Goldberg here, because she's recently said, I don't know if you've all got Disney Plus, but some of the
Goldberg.
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg. Let me relate this. It's relevant. So on some of the old Disney cartoons, this is relevant. I'm not going off on a tangent.
That's fine.
Some of them are really aged. Like, you look at the way they've portrayed Asian people, for instance, in the old Disney stuff. So they've got Whoopi Goldberg to come in and go, hey, this happened. There's no excuse for it. But this needs to be a part of history so that we are aware of what's happened. And she said, I want people to be racist because then I know they're racist. There I've identified the problem. There I've identified where it needs to change.
This is it. I think as well, like I was talking about it on Good Morning Gazetta the day after it happened as well. The fact that like you've already mentioned the fact that Black Lives Matter is a foreign concept. When everything was going on with George Floyd, and obviously in the UK there was John Boyega as well talking about stuff as well. I took the time that as a white man, I have never experienced racism. I can't sit here and say, "Oh, we know how you guys feel," because we don't.
I have, because I lived in Southeast Asia for 10 years. I was the, quote unquote, the victim there. And I don't mean to say I was victimized, I was subjected to anything, but, they've got a very, very, very powerful word out there for the white man in Thailand. Farang, exactly. Now,
you were in Thailand as well, weren't you?
Now, what the Thais would have you believe is that Farang just means foreigner. Bullshit. Farang means raping half-breed white man. It's a vile word.
Shouldn't have got that tattooed.
Wow.
No, but so I listen. I've never been beaten up because I'm white. I've never been.
That's because you're a
burgled
kickboxer,
'cause
bro.
there's that too, but I have seen it, not to anywhere near the same degree, but I have been on the receiving end of it.
I mean,
and it's not fucking pleasant.
I mean, I've had mild xenophobia, but it's nowhere near what people receive. I mean, I was born here, but I still get called a wop and stuff like that, which isn't anything near as bad as what other people experience. But the fact that people still need to address certain things,
we're opening a debate that I don't think we're going to solve today.
No,
but it's definitely something we need to talk about. And I think that as people who have a platform, the fact that we're actually having this conversation is really important.
Yes,
and I think I myself I've taken the time to. I've read more on Black Lives Matter, read more into the history of Britain and everything as well, because this is the thing as well. The way that Britain, I think, as a society, has a massive problem with ignorance, where we haven't learned about our past. Winston Churchill, for example, war hero, fantastic. Let's talk about what he did to Indian people, how he treated black people, what he called them. That nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about what the British Empire did.
Baden-Powell hailed for starting the Boy Scouts. The Boy Scouts were a way to militarize young white men for the colonies.
Yep.
Right? That they don't talk about that either. Look, the fact of
Was that a badge? The colonisation
there
badge.
you go, literally. Like, you got your 23rd merit badge.
Yeah.
Hate the Caribbeans. Like, what the fuck? The history of Britain is messed up. And what's terrible is that in the modern day, we're trying to justify it somehow. Like, the fucking soundbite that goes around when you bring up Black Lives Matter from the wrong people, the soundbite is, oh, it's a Marxist left-wing group set up to defund the police. Cool. If it's a group, show me the fucking leaders. They don't exist. Because it's not some secret fucking cabal which has been set up by some shadow organization to defund the police. No. It bullshit.
Yeah.
It's complete bullshit.
Well, this is the thing, and it's. Like,
And if you believe that, Nigel Farage's door is open. Because he's on record for saying that too. There's your fucking example.
It's when I literally, you go somewhere and they go, oh, well, what are you saying, Black Lives Matter? All lives matter. I'm like, yeah.
Oh,
yes,
fuck's sake, yes.
They do. But the problem is, black people are not considered.
If your house is burning, I'm not going to say my house matters too, mate. Your house is burning. That's the house that I'm fucking preoccupied about right now. My house is cool.
Yeah.
My house isn't burning.
No, but yeah, that's the thing. It's really difficult to have conversations about stuff like that.
Without getting very impassioned.
Exactly.
But I think it's great that Abramovich, who's so fucking rarely interviews, chose to take the time to speak about this, and also chose to take the time to, throw his blessings in the direction of women's football.
Yeah.
I think also, I mean, especially like it or not, loathe it or not, we do hate it, but Chelsea fans have got a reputation.
Fucking right, and I'm ashamed to be one of them when this shit crops
those
up.
incidents on the tube in Paris and things like that. It's embarrassing.
Yes.
It's embarrassing when the club that you support has these idiots among its ranks. Don't get me wrong, all football clubs will have idiots.
Of course
But,
they will.
yeah, it's great to see Chelsea acting in such a noble way, as they have done throughout the whole pandemic as well. And it puts a smile on your face.
It does, and fair play to him coming out in the interview. He was also talked about other stuff. So I talked about Lampard, talked about Thomas Tuchel. We'll leave a link to the Forbes article down in the description as well. But yeah, it's it's a difficult conversation to one. Brandon, have you got anything that can?
Speaking of difficult subjects,
Yeah, or Mooch even. Go on.
Another segue.
the new Chelsea top.
Oh, right. That's not what I thought you were going, but okay.
it's one that's is quite divisive.
It is. Brandon, what have you got for us? Move yourself from the little screen, and then obviously, bring it up for us. Let's have a little look.
Give me 2 seconds. Working on that.
Well, I mean, how is this guaranteed to be the new top, or is this
This rumor mill.
It's rumor mill.
Where's
Rumor
the source
has
from?
it.
Where's
Chew.
the source? What's the sauce?
The sauce.
Sauce.
HP.
HP, ketchup.
It's a Footy Leaks one, isn't it? Is it a
Footy
Footy
Leaks.
Leaks?
Footy leaks are normally pretty good
They
when
are
it
quite
comes
spot
to.
on with it.
They normally the go-to resource.
I wouldn't trust Footy leaks in my life, but I trust them to tell me about this. I mean, I've got it here while Brandon tries to get it up on the screen as well. But
I love it.
I don't know how I feel about it, if I'm brutally honest.
Right, here we
It
go.
looks like the sort of shirt you would create in a fantasy team on old school Pro Evolution Soccer, and that's why I like it.
Right?
Oh,
It's
Double click on the picture of the thing so it goes at full screen.
Here we go.
I love it.
okay. I mean, it's all right.
It's better than what we've got now.
No, I don't like it.
I
I don't
mean,
like it.
I'm-
What's
I'm-
all this about? Look, it's half like zigzags, half race car finish flag.
It does look like an epileptic fit.
It
on a
does. And then what's this yellow?
Drop some acid.
What's all
To be
this
fair,
about?
the yellow
It's a
was.
magic eye. If you
Literally.
stare at it long enough, you'll see the Champions League trophy.
Can you imagine looking at that shirt while tripping on LSD? That'd be brilliant.
And do you know what,
don't do
Nico?
drugs,
Do you
kids.
know the last time we had a kit that was almost yellow was 2012.
No, look, the side things are interesting. It might make
I like it.
the more rotund of us look a little bit slimmer.
Yeah.
Give us that little V. That's what I'm hoping for.
Why are you looking at me when you say that?
Because we're the rotund ones. I think it's gonna. I'm not sure about the V-neck.
I don't like the
Oh,
V-neck.
I like a V-neck.
I think if a V-neck's done right, it'd be good.
It's
I don't
not
understand.
It's not that dramatic a V-neck.
No, it's like
It's not, is it?
I genuinely, I'm.
So I think
I'm-
it's all right.
I'm not saying this because I got the shirt for free from 3 at the beginning of the season, but in comparison to this other shirts from Nike, this season's shirt I preferred because it was something had a little bit something about, and there was some nice little
Got
details.
a safety net to catch those names you're dropping there, Louis.
I'm not catching. I'm not catching the names. I'm
3.
just
If you could send 4 shirts this year.
that would be great.
yeah, no, I think that I
Probably
I
one
prefer
in each
this one.
size.
Yeah, you're definitely the XXL.
No,
mate.
whatever. As long as it fits. I'm just saying that we if we line up, we like.
It's like a really shit version of The Usual Suspect. But yeah, no, I think.
Wait,
Like,
who are you?
I don't know.
Kevin Spacey.
What-
You set me up for that one, mate.
Well, he's the one that gets away at the end because he's actually Kaiser Sosa. Sorry, I just ruined it for someone who's not seen The Usual Suspects. Really sorry.
It's an old movie. Come on.
It's a great film.
It's a great film.
I like his Christmas videos. like every year he drops one, and it's just mental. It's just like, oh my god.
No, but yeah, I mean that shirt. I think this year's has been the best. I like the way they've gone back to yellow on this apparent leak, purely down to the fact that it's exciting. It was like supposed to send memories back for certain reasons. Obviously, yellow is a colour which is associated with Chelsea for quite a long time. Didn't get used enough on those awesome kits from the FA Cup last year.
Last great yellow kit we had goes back to the Autoglass days.
Yeah, those are great.
Those was it.
Or I want the 0102. I've got the one I've got with Marcel Desailly in the bag. That's my favourite shirt. I quite like the one we had in the what year was it? I think it was the season we won the league under Mourinho, 14-15.
No. I'm
Oh,
going
the
back.
Commodore, the red and white Commodore shirt. I want to get my hands on. I want to get that, and I want to get the horrible orange and graphite.
Yeah, they're kind of trendy now.
Yeah,
That's what I was about
what
to say.
kids
So
say?
this blue,
Trendy?
this blue with neon is very in vogue. It's very, very in vogue to have just like a splash of really bright color. Like you look everywhere, be it on social media, big marketing billboards. Like that's very in vogue. So
Yeah.
they're staying with the times with what they're doing. Here.
100%. And I think it's a pretty decent little number. If you had to rate it out of 10,
Oh God, we're doing this. Okay.
and we're going to do this just on one shirt because the last time we did a shirt rating,
didn't go well. Mooch wasn't happy.
Mooch had a panic attack and just
No,
started crying in the corner.
I'm approaching 40. I'm too old for this shit.
Out of 10,
8. I like it. I really like it.
would you buy it?
Yeah. It's the first shirt I've seen Chelsea have for quite some time that I'd be like, I'd buy that.
I've not wanted to buy a Chelsea shirt since Frank Lampard's last season.
Yeah, I'd buy it. I'll give it a 7. If we can move on quickly.
Louis, what would you give it?
He's going to go 6.5 or 5.
I was going to go 6. I think it's all right. I think it'll
6.
grow. I want to see it on a players first.
Brandon, what do you think?
4.
Oh,
damn.
Don't like
wow.
it. Our
I
kits
think
usually grow on me,
you
but
the most. I think it's the type of I could see you wearing something like
Yeah.
that. Hype beast sort of guy.
yeah, because I'm just like, no, I don't know.
I don't mean that in a
No, I get what you
derogatory
mean.
way. Yeah, do you know
No,
what
I get what you mean. Yeah, no, the kits kind of grow on me. Like the 3 ones we've had recently,
Show your
they've grown
face.
on me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I still
They've-
can't
they've-
get my
they've
head
grown-
around
they've
that
grown.
kit.
They've grown on me. I haven't liked them when they've first been,
They're
leaked.
shrunk on me.
But it's like they have grown on me towards coming into the season and getting halfway through the
Yeah, it's
season.
great. I mean, talking of clothes, I'm really annoyed that no one's noticed how awesome my t-shirt is. Considering you were talking about Pez earlier.
Shot power. Adriano. Is that Adriano?
Adriano,
Oh,
our
sick.
football hooked me up, boys.
Do you remember when we did that little piece at the Classic Football Shirt? And I said to you that one of my favourite memories was reading the old game magazines when people are like, what's the best weapon in video games? And they would be like, the BFG from Doom and Adriano's left foot from Pro Evolution
Oh,
Soccer
mate.
2006.
I just want to get a PlayStation 2 so I can play that again. But yeah, I mean, that's that on the shirt. And then I think we've got 1 or 2 more things to touch on, haven't we, Brandon?
We have. Let me just
Here we go.
re-grab the
the
agenda.
rumour has it, the mill time.
I mean, we've got Aguero we can talk a little bit about.
So we've
Ooh,
got
Mason Mount.
Haaland's dad.
Oh, yes, another rumour!
That's what I meant. Rumour has it.
So Erling Haaland's dad, for anyone that hasn't seen it, let me pull myself up, has followed Chelsea on Instagram. And he doesn't follow many people on Instagram. He only follows, I think it's 169 people.
69.
And obviously, one of them being Haaland. But now Chelsea have appeared on that. And a lot of fans have read a lot into that, like they always do, with Messi following Chelsea a few years ago and that sparking rumours of him coming to Chelsea. It doesn't mean anything. From my point of view, I don't think it means anything. But what do you guys think?
Nada.
I mean,
We're signing Erling Braut Haaland.
I wouldn't have thought anything of it, but then last summer, Havertz followed Chelsea. What, didn't he?
He
And then
liked one of
Havertz.
someone's tweets as well.
He
Someone
liked-
If
tweeted
it-
the club saying sign Havertz, and then he liked it
he
accidentally.
liked it. That was it. So
Yeah.
like, this is definitive proof, surely.
Surely,
If we're going along
No,
these lines.
Do you know what? You're completely right, and everyone
CFC Dubois confirms.
everyone out there needs to start making their Erling Haaland profiles on Twitter ready for when he comes to Chelsea, because he's coming to Chelsea.
What happened to your
It's
Danny
confirmed.
Drinkwater profile, by
Oh
the way?
my god, that was unbelievable. I still have it somewhere. It's still online somewhere.
Oh, mate, that's a fucking great
Yeah,
one.
it
Probably
was
got
very
more
good.
followers than actual Danny Drinkwater.
Maybe.
Poor
No, it
Danny.
never got off the. It
Oh,
never,
right.
never got off the ground. I never tweeted off it. But yeah, that was interesting that time. Yeah.
So I mean, look, chances of him coming slim to none, but
There's always
don't
a chance.
know,
There's
you know.
always no.
look,
come
I
on.
kind of agree with you. It kind of it's us or City or PSG or Real Madrid or
So anyone.
Or Liverpool. I've
Don't
heard
see-
Burnley
I
are in the
do
mix.
see Real actually shit.
Do you know what? It has got vibes of Eden Hazard to it. Do you not think?
Yeah.
Of when
Ow.
he had the massive transfer saga of who was he going to sign for, and he tweeted out that one day that he was going to sign for the Champions League
And
winners.
guess what year he's
2012,
Oh
Nico. So if we win the Champions League this year, he's
I
coming.
hate you.
But no, it has those sorts of vibes to it to me. Like he's got like 7 or 8 clubs that are interested in him, all massive clubs. United, City, Chelsea. I could list them all, but I'm not going to. But he has all of those clubs willing to buy him. It's his choice. It's his choice. That's it. It's his choice.
and
so
it's
he's
going to
gonna make that
happen this
decision.
summer
Yeah.
because otherwise Dortmund lose him for
Well, they're
for
going to have
60
to.
million.
Well,
Well,
they're currently outside of the top 4 in the Bundesliga.
And
so
he wasn't very happy yesterday with their draw. He scored the 2 goals for him, scored in the 90th minute to equalise, which screwed my bet, for fuck's sake. But he stormed off the pitch as soon as it finished, took his top off, threw it to the floor, and stormed straight down the tunnel.
and asked his dad to follow Chelsea.
And then asked his dad to
Dad,
follow Chelsea.
Follow Chelsea right now. I've had
Exactly.
enough of this Dortmund shite.
Exactly.
I think this all comes down to, and this is pure speculation. No one fucking knows, and I won't listen to anyone who says that they do, including CFC Dubois. But
Can we get CFC Dubois on the pod?
I think we
that'd
should. He's got enough time, doesn't he? But the
I'd
reality
love to
is,
go. I've not got enough time. Do you know how long it takes? me
too
trying
many
to do shit?
tweets. The reality is that it all comes down to the type of player that he is. If he wants to build a dynasty, you're going to join City or PSG at the moment. Him and Mbappe up front could signal the biggest power vacuum that Europe has seen for a long time.
I don't know if it does because I think what PSG will always have a problem with is being in a Farmers League and not being tested, and then coming up in the Champions League and not having.
And look at last year.
And they're second in their
Look at
Farmers League
last.
currently.
Look at last year.
What, when they didn't win it?
Dude, they got to the final. No, what people were like, they're not going to make the final. Then that happened. It's progression.
Yeah,
Things
I
are
agree.
happening.
But look at it.
PSG will win the Champions League at some point.
Yes.
Probably sooner rather than later.
Yes.
I
Haaland
don't know
can go and create a
if Haaland
dynasty
goes
there.
there. I think FIFA should get involved because it's not fair, really.
Oh, real talk. I also think that he could be the heir apparent to Sergio Aguero.
I think that's probably more likely in my
Yeah.
like. City are desperate for a striker.
Mm-hmm.
They've got
Everyone wants to play for Pep.
they're in great form.
Quadruples on. Signs are there.
They're going to pay the money.
They've got the money. Signs are there.
It's just, would you like to live in Manchester
God, yeah, that's true.
But there is a small part of me that thinks...
and play for a team which can't fill a
He was,
stadium?
he was a Man City fan growing up, wasn't
He was us.
I've
yeah,
heard
I
mixed
think
things
so.
about this. I've
he?
heard
He was
he's
a Man City fan.
United
Well,
fan,
his
I've heard
dad,
he's
his
a
dad's
Chelsea
Alfie
fan.
Inga Haaland. He has there's
Yeah.
loads of pictures of it. He went
Yeah,
to the City
you are
FA
right.
Cup final under Stoke. Him and his dad. Alfie Inga Haaland, obviously City.
Roy
racing
Keane's his
player.
godfather.
Yeah, Roy Keane's his godfather. For people who don't know, because if there's going to be some younger listeners as well, and or watchers, depending on whatever platform you're doing it on. Alfie Inga Haaland was all right, Zola. Alfie
Zola, shush.
Alfie
Oh,
Inga,
you see?
Alfie Inga Haaland was the. Shut up, Zola. We got a dog. Can we show Zola?
Yeah,
Where is he? Where's Zola? So we've got Zola the dog,
Don't
who's
worry,
the
let's
mascot.
crack on.
He's down on the bottom. You might have seen all the other ones. Alfie Inga Haaland was the player which Roy Keane basically got done for assault with.
Yeah, destroyed his knee.
Yeah,
But that didn't actually end his career.
Well, no, he went to Leeds briefly, didn't he? Afterwards, and then
Yeah.
he just couldn't play anymore.
And for anyone that hasn't seen the picture,
Oh my God, he looks like he's just. That's dodgy.
We don't want to add Man City to the home screen. Yeah, that is Haaland wearing a Manchester City shirt from when he was a child.
Back then, his features on his face look in proportion, but his head has just grown
looks-
and his face
mate,
is just the same.
He's probably about, what, maybe 12, 13 there, something like that. You would still not want to run into him
His
down a
legs-
dark alley.
His,
No.
Mate,
his legs are massive. Just running down in a dark alley down in Gorton. Blimey.
But
Or he could become part of the young man revolution going on at Chelsea. You know, he could
I mean,
finally take the Drogba mantle.
it's
No one's done it.
if this was 2004, there wouldn't be any question about what team he's coming to, but it's not, and I think it's a bit more interesting.
It is. It's
It is.
definitely
As
more
long as it's not
interesting.
City or PSG.
But I think those are the two realistic ones. Unless Real Madrid are about to pull the bank out again.
I don't
and
think
they
they've got the money.
That's the problem. But they've got their team is literally on its last legs. Modric, Kroos, they don't have a lot left. People love to rave about Casemiro. He can't hold a team by himself.
Vinicius.
Benzema's on his last legs.
Sergio Ramos
Vinicius,
is on his way out of the club completely.
Sergio Ramos is on his way out. They are
Hazard may be fit by 2024.
poor Eden, man. I feel for that guy.
Mate, yeah.
Hey, if we win the Champions League, he might tweet out that he's signing for the Champions League winners.
I think
you know what year that
I think-
was?
I think that's
2012. But I think the reality is, unless Real are going to pull out the big bucks, which, as you said, I don't think they can do at the moment, it just seems like it's a toss-up between PSG and City.
I don't think he would join PSG, you know. And the only reason I say that is because we're getting to the end of the era of the Ronaldo, the Messi, the Neymar dominating football. Maybe not Neymar because he's younger, but the Ronaldo and Messi competition. Think about it. The next up-and-coming one is the Mbappe versus Haaland.
Yeah, but
I
then
think-
bring in Neymar. Neymar wanted to play with Messi because the great players often, unless they're Cristiano Ronaldo,
I get that,
who's
I
got
get
such
that.
a chip, they want to play together.
I get that, but they're both really young players.
Yeah.
I don't think at the beginning of their career, and I think their agents would tell them the same, that it would give them a lot of publicity and they would get more views, and they'd get more searches and they'd make more money if they played at separate clubs and started this kind of rivalry like Messi and Ronaldo
I think
had.
you're right there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I don't think at such a young age they would play together under the same team. Maybe later on in their career, but I think that kind of rules PSG out of it just for that reason.
Well, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with it.
I partly agree with that. I still think that the great players always want to play together. Look at the Galacticos. You know,
It's
Yeah, but
true.
that-
Real
But
Madrid
it's
are
the
literally
finances.
but Real Madrid are literally a blueprint
Yeah, but-
to
but
go
But when the
this is the thing.
Galacticos were during the period of the Galacticos, there wasn't quite so much focus on image rights and your social media and
That's
sort
true.
of like
That's
it was
very
a
true.
like it
And there
was,
wasn't as much agent influence either.
yeah,
That's
it was a
very true.
different time, and it's kind of like cool. I want to play for the Harlem Globetrotters of football.
Yeah.
Wicked. I want to win things.
Yeah.
People are winning things, but it's kind of like I want to be the main focus because players are becoming bigger than clubs.
Egos, yeah. That's
Yeah,
I think that's
that's
a fair
the thing.
point. So maybe if you want to take PSG out, I still think City are
And you've got to really think of
yards
it
ahead of everyone. but-
financially as well, though. With PSG, they spent a lot of money on Mbappe, on Neymar. They broke the bank, and there was a lot of questions whether they were going to get done by the FFP and
Yeah.
everything like that. Do they have the money to be able to pay the fee plus his and his agent's fees of like
They're a
300,
country.
350 grand a
Is
week?
the question, do they have the money or are they legally allowed to spend
Well,
that money?
Sorry.
yeah.
Well,
Is
do they have the money? It's a fucking country. So
Hard
yeah,
yes.
they
Well,
do.
hard yes.
yeah.
Can I
But-
just ask what is so the agent fees are going to be what 350 grand a week?
No, Haaland's is like 300. His wage will be around
Yeah.
300, 400 grand a week.
But I don't think that's a astronomical figure. It doesn't sound like
Kante's on 290, I think.
Yeah, but if you
What's
if
the
you
highest
put it
ever
into
is
well, if
Tevez,
you put it
isn't
into
670
perspective,
a week.
Something like that.
if you put it into perspective, where they have to pay, say,
Yeah, is it Tevez?
200 million for him
so.
or 150 million for Haaland, then they're paying over 2 mil a month on his wages. Also,
But what is Werner on?
Not
Werner's on 175, I believe.
I will have a look.
That's the thing. I don't think this is where the problem comes in. I don't think Chelsea are a team which are ever going to blow 100 million plus on a transfer. I really don't. And I also don't think we're a club which are ever going to spend that sort of money on salaries. I just don't see it happening. City will, PSG will. The only other team I
That's
might
coming
throw
through
in
there.
there,
Yeah, I'm turning it.
the only other team I may throw in there just because of history is the way Lewandowski moved from Dortmund to Bayern.
Yeah,
Maybe
I think that's
Haaland
the, I
would
mean,
do that,
well, yeah,
but-
that's something that could happen. I think Chelsea are a very slender
I don't
chance.
think Bayern are going to pay those fees.
No chance. That's why I think just head and shoulders above everyone for all the reasons we've said. I can't really look
The
beyond
only thing
City.
I'm thinking
it
is, like,
sucks, but
Has Roman set his mind on something?
Apparently, so again,
There's
this is something
reports
which was
saying he
talking about.
has.
Yeah. So Roman Abramovich apparently said he really, really wants Haaland. But I think this
is
is
this
the thing.
hearsay or is this actually
It's
documented?
hearsay, it's
It's
hearsay.
hearsay.
We didn't say it in the interview.
But
He rocked up to the
Yeah,
interview
Roman,
with
we
a
get-
Haaland top on.
we get your
Kick out
because
racism. Women's football's great. I'm going to get Erling Braut Haaland.
that'd be a big three. So, ooh. No, but yeah, I think Haaland. Look, Haaland is again. We spoke about this in the test pod, and it's great that we can talk about it again as well. Is that Haaland is part of the dying breed of just a number 9.
Pure striker.
I don't think I can name any others of elite quality that are
Harry Kane.
that are younger than 30 or just touching 30. Harry Kane's 26, 27, so he's in his prime. But I mean, you've got Harry Kane, you've got Haaland.
Lewandowski. But he's over
He's
30.
past it. He's on his
certainly
way
not
out.
past
Wait,
it.
sorry,
but-
no. He's past it. Let me rephrase. He's past the age
Yeah.
that we were talking about. There are no out and out strikers we can go. They are quality. You are going to see world class performances for a decade or more out of these guys.
But
Olivier Giroud, but again, wrong
at
side.
the age of
30.
20, is a £150 million transfer fee gonna mess with your head? Like,
It doesn't look
Depends
like it.
who you
does with him.
are. Look at Mbappe. Hasn't affected him at all. He's a World Cup winner. He's got one of the highest fees in the world. He's one of the most highly sought after players in the world. He's the heir apparent along with Haaland to Messi and Ronaldo, and he's as level headed as it gets. The dude's chilled. You listen to him on French radio, hear his interviews. He is so fucking mellow yellow. It's ridiculous. Like he's so grounded. Like his dad's done a brilliant job keeping his feet on the
Yeah.
ground, but he's easy. Easy.
Well, we'll have to see. Obviously, guys, let us know down in the comments, or obviously on the podcast as well, in the comments on there, who you think Haaland's going to be going to. Is Chelsea on the table, or is it just a load of bollocks? But yeah, how long we got left? Do we need to wrap up, Mooch?
we should be wrapping up. One more. So let's talk about Mason Mount.
Yes, let's talk about him. Yes. I love this guy. Honestly, I love this guy. I have not seen a player with the talent that he's got at such a young age, but the passion he has for playing for the badge. I haven't seen one of these sorts of players come around to Chelsea since the Lampard, Terrys, Coles, the Czechs.
It's about 3 years
sorts of
ago.
days. Well,
I'm
not
joking,
really,
I'm joking.
yeah. But like, every time he steps on the pitch, you know he's going to drop a solid 7-8 performance.
Yeah,
That's
100%,
regardless. He
100%.
drops a 7 or 8. He never drops a stinker. He didn't have the best of games today, but he didn't have a worst, an awful game. It was an average game. That's the thing I like about him. He doesn't stop running. He doesn't stop playing forward, but he also he presses. He drops back. He does a defensive job.
He's a coach's dream.
Literally, and that's why Frank loved him so much, and that's why Tuchel's loving him so much.
That's why Southgate loves him.
That's why Southgate loves him. That's why every manager that he's worked with has said nothing but praise for him, and that is why he is the next academy prospect to have come through from the academy and successfully nailed down a starting 11 place.
He's doing what Lampard did when you had Ballack, Sen, Steve Sidwell,
Number 9,
and no other centre midfielders obviously
Makelele.
come through. Makelele,
John
of
Obi
course,
Mikel.
John Obi Mikel, Thiago.
Whoa.
You had all these central midfielders coming into the side, and Lampard made himself undroppable.
It was interesting to see when people were like, "What is Mount going to do when Havertz comes here?"
Keep his place.
He stepped up. I don't know if he has stepped up, because he was playing great before. It's just I feel. I mean, he was one of our players. He was the player.
just himself.
No, maybe Cover.
Kovacic was player of the season last year.
I think the best way to describe how he is from last season to this season is consistent.
Yeah.
Very good.
He was very good last season.
But I think he was also played in more varying positions last season. We played him on the wing.
Yes, you are right. Lampard did love to play everyone everywhere a little bit, didn't he?
That's the beauty of Mason Mount. Like you said, solid 7, 8 out of 10s every single time without fail. We saw Mason Mount in the game against Sheffield United today. He played up front for a little bit.
So
Mason Mount played up front. He's played on the left. He's played on the right. He played in centre midfield when as part of the double pivot when Billy Gilmore came off. He played as a deep line role under Frank Lampard towards the back end of that role. I'm sorry.
You know what scares me about all this? Not as far as Chelsea are concerned. I've got no fears about the kid. Just let him shine.
As far as England is concerned.
As far as England is concerned, he stinks of Steven Gerrard. Where do I play him? How do I fit him in? He's going to play, for sure. But where do I play him? Gerrard played everywhere for England. He played
right back.
That was for Liverpool, but he played at right back. He's played left centre midfield. He's played left wing, for fuck's sake. He's played as a false 9. He played central. He played 8. They didn't know what to do with Gerrard, such as his versatility, and that's my concern. Because if you look at England's midfield now, it's good.
Well, I think you actually have more choice now than you did with the England Golden Age. The England Golden Age, it was a very simple fix. You play 3 in midfield. Sven-Goran Eriksson decided not to play 3 in midfield and had his heart set on playing 4-4-2 every single time.
Lampard and Gerrard couldn't play together. In
No,
the
but
same
it was
team.
Scholes on the wing.
Scholes on the left wing.
Ridiculous.
Mate, but this is it. It's like
And Scholes should have started ahead of all of them.
For me, it goes Scholes, Gerrard Lampard. No,
Wow.
Scholes, Lampard, Gerrard. It goes for me.
Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard. Yeah, I just said it on the Chelsea podcast. If you're asking me objectively, looking at the England team, Gerrard. Lampard scored more goals. I hear that.
Good idea. Well done, Mooch. Let's change the camera. Nico, you're out of shot a little bit. You just want to move back a bit more, yeah?
I'll plug you back in. There we go.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Well, look, it's a similar sort of different positioning, but we've got such an abundance of talent with Grealish, Foden, Maddison, Mount. But I think
Ross
Mount.
Barkley.
There's one player in there you mentioned there, Jack Grealish. He stinks of Gaza, the way he plays his football.
He's so good.
He's such a good footballer.
So good.
But
Both on and
where
off the
does
pitch.
Where does he get into team? This is the thing. He won't start under Southgate. He won't.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Take the Chelsea badge aside for a minute and look at this through the prism of an England fan.
Yeah.
Take the badge out here, right?
I am. And
Would you play
Yes.
Mount ahead of Grealish?
Depends on the game.
I think it depends on the game. I think international football, sometimes you just need a solid 7. Sometimes you need a consistency, and then sometimes you need to bring on a Grealish to turn the game.
Well, I think Mount played in a double pivot with Declan Rice. Obviously, I don't know if Jordan Henderson's going to be fit for the Euros. If Jordan Henderson's fit for the Euros,
Forget about Maddison as well, though.
to be honest, Madders is quality.
Ruben's not even getting a shout
Ruben-
anymore. It's such
I
a
don't
shame.
think he'll make it this
No,
year.
he won't.
There's
He
no
won't, and it's
chance.
such a shame. It's such a shame.
I don't think it's a shame. I don't think he's the player that is. He's not competing with those 4 players.
Since he had that injury, he's not been the same.
He's not.
Even at Fulham, he's had good games, and I'll say that he's had good games. I've seen it, and I've heard that he's had really good games. But he's nowhere near the quality he used to be. He hasn't got the drive, the big. He's got the physical presence still, but he doesn't own the ball. If you get what I mean, like he hasn't got the same sort of physical presence on the pitch, even though he's still a big guy. And that's what's the saddest thing to see about Ruben. I hope he does.
He turns it around.
Yeah.
He was superb for England in the World Cup.
Yeah.
He was great, and it was on the right-hand side as well, which is where he was playing for Palace as well. The thing about Ruben is you've seen moments this season with the ball carrying, but the thing is with him, he had the potential of falling into the Jesse Lingard category, but obviously you can't really say that category anymore purely because of what
Lingard's
Jesse's
doing
gone
all right
to
now.
do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Who, may I just add, has scored and assisted against Arsenal, and it was 3-3.
It was 3-3. That's 3-0 up as well.
Yeah, I know.
Damn.
Crazy.
2 own goals.
But yeah, no, it's two. Sorry, what? Say that again.
2 own goals and Lacazette equalised in the 82nd.
Oh my god, that would kill me. That would kill me. I'm so glad. I don't
How
support
do you
West
see
Ham.
England's midfield then? Because Jordan Henderson's an automatic starter.
If-
Not
right.
for me, but for Southgate.
My team, I'd go 4-2-3-1, but our Southgate won't do that. Southgate would go 5 at the back.
Yeah.
He's with the attacking talent we have, he's going 5 at the back. That
Who
that
would you
is
play in
tantamount to
attacks?
football terrorism.
Sancho, Sterling, and Kane.
I wouldn't play Sterling.
But,
Sterling's
look,
getting the team
Sterling's
for
been
me.
poor. Sterling's been poor.
My
So
team.
Sancho, Kane, and
My team would be Nick Pope in goal.
yes.
I'd go for a back 3 of Luke Shaw, Maguire, and I'd go with
John Stones, you can't not play
John. Sorry, John.
Yeah, you have
sorry,
to play
I go
John
John
Stones.
Stones as my back 3. Luke Shaw goes in. He's had a fantastic season. Right wing back, I play Trent.
Yes.
It's either Trent or Reece. Left wing back, you're probably looking
I'm a fan
at.
of Kieran Trippier because you know Southgate's going to play him.
He'll play Kieran Trippier left wing back.
Mm.
He always takes him. I get why he does it because
I rate
as
Trippier.
As,
always
he's a
have.
good player, no, but like as a coach, Southgate's got a small squad which he knows how to work with, which is why he takes the same players because they know the system. It's what England did at the World Cup in '66.
So what do you see him? Not what you would pick. What do you see Southgate doing in his midfield? Because something's got to give.
Eric Dyer.
No, I see.
Kill me.
I see
No,
Declan
I agree.
Rice. Declan Rice will be
Rice
above.
needs to go in. Yeah,
Will be
Declan needs to go.
above Dyer this year. I'm saying it. He will be above Rice.
I agree. So
Because he's
Henderson
had
and
full
Rice
season.
are in the midfield then.
I'd go Henderson Rice, but I don't know if you want to have 2 sitters there. That's where you could have that conversation of Mason Mount going as just an 8 as a ball carrier, like Cover does for us.
Ahead of Foden and Grealish.
Foden. This is the thing. Foden and Grealish are so similar. Foden has the talent to. I think he'll excel Grealish.
Yeah.
Right now,
Hell
right now, Grealish is the better player, so I think Grealish would go. I think.
So would you play Foden up front then?
I play Foden.
Sancho,
I play
Foden
Foden
and
as part of
Kane?
that front 3.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play Foden or Grealish as an 8, just purely because of the physicality. I think.
Then Grealish doesn't get in the team.
Why don't you play? I'd play Grealish on the wing because he can do it.
That's what I'm saying. You play Grealish on the left-hand side of a front 3,
Instead
and
of
you go Rashford.
Yeah,
Hang
instead
on,
of
whoa,
that.
whoa, whoa. So where's Sancho?
Sancho goes on the right.
But so Foden.
No.
Hang on.
No Foden. So let me explain this because I'm thinking how Southgate will pick.
Okay.
Your left wing back, I'm not sure who it'll be, but it probably will be Trippier because I don't think we have an excess of left backs. It might be Ben Chilwell, but I don't know. I feel like I'm missing a name. Brandon, you're normally quite good at this.
Well,
Luke Shaw.
he's got like Lewis Dunk that he's picked. He's got Ben White to choose from, who've had
Yeah.
decent seasons for Brighton. He's got
Lamptey.
Tyrone Mings. He's
Lamptey's
got
out injured for the
Lamptey.
season.
Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw, I think Luke
Yeah.
Shaw will go on the left hand side of a 3.
I don't
think
maybe-
he will. I don't
You
think
think
he
he'd
will.
take him
And
as a
I
wing back?
also do not think that Henderson starts. I don't think Southgate.
Nah,
will start
Henderson
him.
starts.
Wow.
Henderson.
I don't think
Henderson
he will start him. Do you know what? If it's down to me, I'd say yeah. Play him for 60, 70 minutes of a game and change it up after 60, 70 minutes. But I don't think he will start him. And I think the reason he won't do that is because he knows he's under a bit of pressure now. Because, we had a good run in the World Cup. We lost to a Croatian team that we probably shouldn't have lost to. I just realised I'm on the screen twice, but I'll change that. We probably shouldn't have lost to. And yes, Henderson is very, very good at what he does. He's a very, very good leader. But with all the talent that we've got in that midfield, like we was just saying, you've got Foden, you've got Mount, you've got Rice, you've got Grealish, you've got so many players. Lingard,
nuts.
who's on form. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that Declan Rice can do the job that Henderson can do, not to the same extent, but he can do that similar job.
But you take if it's a 25-man squad, you take both.
You
I
take
would
both,
take both.
but I don't think he starts.
Who's your starting 11?
So I think, based on what Southgate will go for, having mentioned all of that as well, I think it's more likely to be this. You go Nick. Well, it's gonna be if he's fit, Jordan Pickford, but it'll be Nick Pope in goal.
Should be Nick Pope.
It should be Nick Pope. Back three, it'll probably be Stones, Maguire, and Kyle Walker as the right hand centre back, which is what he's done for England on multiple occasions. Right wing back, you're going to be looking at Trent. Left wing back, even though it shouldn't be, I don't think Trent. Even though Trent's a great player, I don't think defensively he's good, and I don't think he's in form either. So it could be Reece, it could be Trent, it could be Wan-Bissaka,
Could be Trippier.
could be Trippier. Just fucking put the name in a hat and pick one out.
Yeah.
Left wing back, I think you'll see Luke Shaw, Ben Chilwell, just purely because those are the two options he likes.
Now we get interesting midfield.
I think he would go. He'll go Declan Rice or Henderson / and I think he might put Mount in there. Mount has to play. Mount is there's no player in that team that I've named yet that I can know and nail down will give you 7 out of 10 every week. Not a single one. So I'd put Mount on there. Grealish, I'd put on the left hand side of the front
Grealish
three.
and Kane would give you 7 out of 10
Grealish,
every week.
Harry Kane's the reason that England didn't get to the final of the World Cup. So I don't think
He was offside anyway.
Yeah. Grealish on the left hand side, Kane up front, and I'd go
Sancho.
There are other names as well.
Sancho.
But then you've got to remember, we're missing out Jude Bellingham.
Yes, exactly. Jude Bellingham's an 8, isn't he? So it'll be Jude Bellingham.
Do you think Jude
We
Bellingham
have
is
so many good players. This is what I mean. So many good players that I just don't see Henderson being as pickable as he has been over the past few years. Yes, he's been great. He's been consistent. He's been a good captain, but he's getting on, and we've got so much young talent that have proved themselves.
and
this
is he
year.
going to be?
It's another golden
Fit.
age.
But this is it. I mean, it's going to be very, very difficult to figure out what's going to go on with England. But Mason Mount, look,
Semi-finals and penalties.
I don't know. Look, put it this way: with England, Mason Mount goes in the squad because Gareth Southgate loves him. Tuchel loves him. Frank Lampard loved him. You know, let's be honest, right? All the people on Twitter who sit there and say Mason Mount's not a good footballer, he doesn't know. You don't know football. You don't know football, and I'll happily sit here and have a conversation with you and tell you you're a dickhead to your face. It's quite simple.
We don't need to go that deep. Each to their own. But in this case, their
No,
own is wrong.
No, their own is wrong.
Their own is wrong.
Therefore, and the way that half of them address it on Twitter, they're wrong and they're a dickhead. It's very simple. That's kind of that's the baseline I like to go with. And you know that I don't like to mince my words, Nico. 9 times out of 10. Sometimes I do. I talk quite a lot, like I'm doing right now. But yeah, look, I think the bottom line is Mason Mount goes in the squad.
Mason Mount starting squad, yes, but you think he's starting?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Wrap this up.
Yeah, exactly. We'll wrap it up now. But yeah, we'll have to find out what happens with England. Obviously, we'll be back for a podcast, even though it is international break next week. Monday out, and then clips throughout the week as well. Lads, it's been a pleasure. It's been good to get in the
It's been
studio.
really good, yeah.
Lovely.
Lovely to have Brandon in as well. I think
Yeah.
it adds a different dynamic.
BTE.
He does.
BTE.
Brandon the engineer.
Brandon the engineer.
Hey,
BTE.
Brandon's been pulling that out for me. Have you tried DMT?
You need to open a Twitter account called BTE, mate.
I'll do that straight after this podcast. And I want you to be my first follower. If
I
you're
will.
not, I'm
I
gonna
will.
be-
You put it up. I'll be the first follower.
If Brandon set up a separate one for Brandon the engineer, can you set up a separate one from movie Mount Rushmore?
I'll think about it.
Okay, I think
We'll
about it.
just set one up for him.
Yeah, we'll just do it anyway. We'll tweet everything that
Tweet
Nico.
random
We'll just
Just
I like
follow
cheese. 3
Dubois.
a.m.
It's true, I do.
I know you like cheese.
I do like cheese.
But yeah, look, lads, let's wrap it up now. Pleasure for coming to watch us. That came out wrong. Let me try that again.
Follow us on YouTube. You can also listen to us on wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Deezer, Apple Pods, the lot.
We're all there.
We'll
We'll
be
just sort
here
them out.
every Monday.
Tickle the bell.
Spouting nonsense in
Tickle
your
the
ear.
bell.
Tickle the bell.
Tickle the bell. It's an old school one, guys. Thank you very much for watching and listening or whatever. We'll see you later.
See ya.
Sarah.